Hi everyone, it's just coming out of his Walter Whiteface tailor here and he's growing his hair back so it looks a bit messed up, but we're talking about the Partick Thistle and Rovers game at Starks Park that was played last Saturday. I think this was a much better performance than it was than there were in the last few games especially. A lot of people were getting a bit angsty, especially around Robson, because the performances just weren't very good. Today, Saturday even, was a massive change in that. There was a lot more, it was a lot more up tempo and a lot more attacking. It wasn't the same throw a long ball forward and hope it goes somewhere. And the goals were really good. One from a corner by Paul Hanlon, that was the second one, and another one from more open play by Dylan Easton. And yeah, I think it was a brilliant game to watch. The match vlog I think shows that I really enjoyed it, unlike Dunfermline or Airdrie. Those are the last games that I went to. No, Dunfermline, Ayr United, Airdrie. Those are the last games that I've been to, and they were pretty bad. I didn't get to Dingwall, but the people that did get to Dingwall hated the game. So, well, didn't hate the game, but it wasn't a good performance from what I heard. So, yeah, overall, really good result. To be honest, I don't have much to talk about there, other than my main concern being that we really sat back when we're 2 goals up. I really don't like when teams do that. That really makes me slightly like, well, if they score 1 goal when your tactic has been to sit back, and then you're going to have to quickly transition to going forward, I don't know if that's a good idea, especially when you make defensive subs, which I don't think we really did. But that's one of those things where it's always just made me feel a bit uneasy, I guess. But overall, really good performance, though. Really good. Nothing. I can't. There's nothing I can really criticise. I don't really like to criticise. Fans were really upbeat by the end of the game. It was a bit dead though because there was no ultras. There's no singing section. I think they've been banned because of recent conduct. I don't know, but not good. I'm hoping that we can get that resolved and get them back in the ground and make the ground secure, safe. You know, no scraps or anything after the game, hopefully. But yeah, I don't know. It would just be good to have them back because there was a bit of a lack of energy before the goal. And even when the goal went in, it was mostly Partick's away fans. They've got really good away fans. There was the one ultra guy that tried to go for Dylan Easton that was taken down by the stewards, but overall they've got really good fans. And yeah, it showed today. It showed on Saturday even. I don't know why I'm saying the game was today. It wasn't. But yeah, that was the one. But that was my only complaint, I guess, or my only downside. There wasn't as much energy in the fans. When a full time game, when the goals came, it was there. But you could tell there was a bit of a down, a low atmosphere, and there would be, especially when you're 0-0 and you've not scored a goal. And what at that point would have been 5 games. It would have been, wouldn't it? No, it wouldn't have been because you beat Arborough half the Airdrie. But yeah, good. Or I think you did. I don't know. It's at least 3 games without a goal. So when we got that goal, it was a massive relief for me, especially. I was just, yes, good goal. Just good to score a goal, you know. But yeah, brilliant performance. Partick, I thought they would be a lot more of a threat than they were. There were a few chances where they managed to get in behind the defence, but they didn't make much of it really. They had one really good shot on target in the second half, but it didn't go anywhere, unfortunately, for them. So it's one of those days where maybe your team just, if you're a Partick fan, your team just didn't show up. But you're still second in the table. You're only 3 points off St Johnstone. I think you're still definitely in a title fight. Whether that'll be the same next week, we don't know. I don't know because I'm not a Partick fan. I don't really follow Partick. I don't actually know who they're playing next week. I want to say they're not playing. Are they the Friday night game? Let me actually take a look. They're not. They're the Friday night game in a couple weeks. But yeah, they're playing Airdrie, so they probably should win that, especially when they're at home. So they'll still be on St Johnstone. I don't know who St Johnstone are playing, admittedly, but yeah, that should be a win for Partick. But for us, we're playing Morton next week. It's a hard game. They've not been in the best run of form recently, especially against St Johnstone last week. But you don't. I don't think most fan bases in this league are going to go up against St Johnstone and expect to win. But it was definitely a bad result for Morton last week. And I watched Chris's vlog as well, and it didn't seem like it was the best atmosphere over there. So they're not coming into this. They're coming into this with the same energy as we came into the game against Partick last Saturday. So that should be an interesting thing to see. Morton have been pretty notorious for us for being quite difficult to beat, especially last season. Our last 2 games against Morton last season were a 3-3 draw, and it was a 1-1 draw at Starks Park as well. We have beat them this year at Capello, so I think that does give me some hope. So I'm hoping maybe for a 1-0 or a 2-0. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game if you looked at how they played last time. And if you looked at how we set up last time, which was a bit more in and a bit more... I think Robson literally said it was a bit more direct, and it was. But we eventually got that goal with that full-on long ball FC from Josh Ray up to Dylan Easton. Really, really good goal in my opinion. But yeah, it was definitely a more direct goal than what we normally score, I suppose. But yeah, that should be good. That should be a good game. So what did you think? What did you think of the game? If you're a Partick fan, if you're a Raith fan, did you think that we were good? Did you think maybe we just got a bit lucky? Or did you think that maybe it's just because Partick didn't turn up too well and that's why I managed to win the game? Who knows? Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.